Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight. Headlines. We have the head of state chairs the work of the 50th meeting of the Council of Ministers. For the international scene, in Democratic Republic of Congo, Ebola under control in 1 month thanks to a vaccine and 2 drugs. Welcome to our newsroom. Under the chairmanship of the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, was held this Tuesday, November 9, 2021, the 15th sessions of the Ministerial Council. This week's cabinet meeting first agreed on the implementation of a bill on institutional reforms in the Office of the Republican Arbitrator, an agency that works in mediation and understanding. The agency was approved by the National Assembly on 21 April 2010. The bill strengthens the mediation work entrusted to it by the agency and carries out a bill highlighting the role of the Republic's mediator in defending the right of citizens and the relationship between the various institutions in the country. This legislative project will significantly expand the range of activities aimed at reforming the workforce to a greater extent across the regions. The cabinet meeting agreed on a successful project to implement Djibouti's second development plan for 2020-2024. The 2015-2019 National Development Plan, abbreviated as ESCAPE, has entered the first phase of the Djibouti 2035 survey. The national plan has enabled significant development initiatives aimed at accelerating economic growth, reducing poverty, and boosting social development indicators, as well as building large-scale infrastructures. Djibouti's second development plan for 2020-2024 will focus on 11 programs with support from the government, the private sector, civil society, and international organizations such as World Bank, UNDP, and the African Economic Community.
2035. Il a pris fin la réduction de la pauvreté, l'amélioration des indicateurs sociaux et la construction d'infrastructures. De la pauvreté et des inégalités spatiales et sociales, le chômage, les faiblesses des capacités humaines et institutionnelles et le changement climatique, tout ceci constituant des contraintes à un développement durable du pays. Pour répondre donc à ces défis et profiter.
The cabinet meeting approves work of the Islamic insurance company Attica, or African Takaful Insurance. The company is joining the insurance market, especially for companies operating in the Islamic system. The move is a result of the policy of expanding the Islamic financial system that has made possible significant economic progress over the past decade. Cabinet meeting approved a successful project on next year's population and housing census in the country. The report presents the tasks assigned to the task of organizing and compiling the general census in the country, and these members are National Statistics Commission, Regional Committee, Technical Committee of Statistics, Institute for Statistics. The National Statistics Committee is responsible for the overall coordination of the work of all the above commissions. Population and housing census is the general United Nations census mandate for member states to conduct every 10 years. The cabinet meeting was approved by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs for 840 meter square land located in Barwaqo 1 neighborhoods of Balbala district, and a mosque named Khalid ibn Walid will be built. The cabinet meeting handed over a plot of land to Jibah Seafood Company, and the total area is the 2.5 hectares. The cabinet meeting also approved a land plot in the south of Balbala, approved by the Sanabil Al Khair Association. Only a few hours left before the launch of the International African Textile Exhibition. In front of the esplanade of the People's Palace, large stands in African colors are set up, stamped with the name of each country. More than 13 countries present are preparing to exhibit their product, fabrics of all colors of or style, all derived from cotton, commonly called white gold, is the main cash crop export of several African countries. These 7 editions of the International Exhibition of African Textile, which will have a special cachet, is long awaiting for all Djiboutians tomorrow, will serve as a platform to honor the Made in Africa, which allows today to create more value added on African soil. For 3 days, the Republic of Djibouti will be a real carousel reflecting the diversity of African identity through these fabrics that will seduce the Djiboutian public. These exhibitions and sale will be accompanied by a fashion show in the Great Hall of People's Palace. This fashion show is an essential activity that breaks with the tradition of sumptuous closed special evenings. It will be organized in popular farm for people interested in changing their clothing habits. It offers designers the opportunity to demystify their creations, which were previously intended for a single category of people, in order to diversify their potential clientele. And in addition, this fashion show will give people to chance to discover a new visions of behavioral approach to clothing. This fashion show, which will last 2 days, will be a space of professional expressions to the stylists and dressmakers to release their potential on the modeling of the African textile. As part of the policy of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, on the centralization, a delegation led by the Minister of Justice and Penitentiary Affairs in charge of Human Rights, Ali Hassan Bahdoun, accompanied by his colleague Qasim Harun Ali, Minister Delegate in charge of decentralization, visited the chief place of the region of Obok on Monday, 11. Ali Hassan Bahdoun, accompanied by his colleagues in charge of decentralization, visited the Obok region on Monday by means of a Coast Guard patrols boat to initiate the decentralization process in file of justice. The objective of this mission can be summarized as follows: to introduce the new magistrate of the region is to identify sites that can provisionally house the regional court covering the regions of Obok and Tujura, to inspect the state of the Obok prisons and the land allocated to the Ministry for the future regional court by Obok prefectures, welcomed and on the key and receive it at the residence of the prefect of Obok, Mr. Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita. The president of the regional council, Mohammed Hamad Ismail. Delegations discussed with the local authorities the objectives of the ministry's mission, the analysis of the population's need in terms of justice, as well as the Ministry of Justice project for the northern regions in the spirit of bringing the judicial and prison administrations closer to the peoples of the regions. After these protocols welcomes the welcome meeting, the delegation took part in a first meeting at the regional council with the customary authorities, the elders, and the civil society leaders. The main purpose of the meeting was for the Ministry of Justice to explain to the people of Obok that a court will henceforth be set up in the town of Obok to cover both Tujura and Obok regions. For his part, the prefect of Obok, Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita, thanked the ministerial delegation is led by the Minister of Justice, and he said this institution is concerned to draw attention to the Minister of Justice, namely the delivery of the rectifications of errors of civil status documents and the imprisonment of the prisoners in Obok. For his part, Qasim Harun Ali, Minister of Delegate in charges of decentralization, said for his part that the objectives of the mission is to analyze the population's needs in terms of justice, as well as the Ministries of Justice project for the northern regions in the spirit of bringing the judicial and prison administrations closer to the people of the regions. The Minister of Justice Ali Hassan Bahdoun explained that all judicial cases concerning the regions of Obok and Tujura are now under the jurisdictions of the Obok court. He then ended his speech by introducing 3 magistrates who will soon be in places in Obok itself once the court's premises have been rehabilitated. The Sheraton Hotel yesterday hosted the launch of an international training on mental health and community psychosocial support in emergency situations. This 4-day workshop is organized with the financial support of the European Union within the framework of the project Sustainable Solutions for the Most Vulnerable Host Populations, Refugees and Migrants on Djibouti territories. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdille, took part yesterday alongside the head of missions of the International Organization for Migration, Stephanie Devio, and the head of the cooperation of the delegation of European Union to Djibouti and IGAD, Bernard François, in the launch of the 4-day training on mental health and community psychosocial support in emergency situation at Sheraton Hotel. This event, which will take place in our country from 8 to 10 November, will bring together representatives of the various departments involved in this team, Djiboutian society, as well as members of the government and the International Organization for Migration from Côte d'Ivoire, Chad, Burundi, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, and Democratic Republic of Congo. The head of the cooperations of the European Union delegations to IGAD and Mr. Bernard François said the head of the International Organization for Migration, Stephanie Devio, said that few countries currently have all these human resources to manage psychiatric and psychological disorders in migration context. Stephanie Devio emphasized that particularity of this meeting. Indeed, this is the first time that such a training is organized in Africa by IOM, but also for all French-speaking African countries. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdille, highlighted the long traditions of hospitality in our country. Our country is located in a very troubled geographical areas, and this leads to population movements that are constantly on the move. This training will allow participants to take stocks of mental health and psychosocial support programs and approaches in different countries, exchange good practices, and create regional platforms to facilitate the sharing of experience, tools, and joint approaches between IOM, civil society actors, and the state entities. On Monday, 8 November 2021, the independent national evaluation were held for all pupils in the second years of education, nearly 13,000 pupils, and conducted the executives of the Learning Evaluation Services and the executive secretary of the CSE in diligent and effective collaborations with the Appropriations Department of IGE, DGE, CFF, DEC, CURPEN, DFE of the MENFOP. Indeed, the evaluation booklets were designed on the basis of the revised curricula with the collaborations of the entities in charge of pedagogy and teaching. Two subjects considered basic, French and mathematics, are concerned for the moment by this INIS and are evaluated in accordance with the tables of learning level 6 level in French, in 5 in mathematics, validated by the institution. The format is particular. Firstly, it consists of multiple choice questions which will make it possible to identify whether a specific skills has been mastered on a not by given peoples on a given school, and thus to draw up a map of national levels and the level of masteries of people's skills in the said subject, and to identify achievements and shortcomings in order to ensure better monitoring of learning. Thus, at the end of the cycle 1 of basic education, pupils are supposed to be able to read, write, and count. In addition, this format provides for 2 evaluations moments at the beginning of the school years, end of October, beginning of November, at the end of the school years, end of April, beginning of May. The aim is to assess the trajectory of teaching and learning during the current years and to measure qualitative and quantitative the skills and knowledge acquired. The region of Ali Sabih welcomes in turn the Minister of Women and Family, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, and her delegation this Monday, 8 November 2021, and this is the continuity of her tower of contact with the decentralized services, and her department is visited at Samo. It was also an opportunity for her to assess the progress of a project and programs implemented by the ministries in the region. On her arrival in Asamo, the minister, accompanied by a strong delegation, was welcomed by the prefect of the region, Musa Adam Migane, the member of parliament, Abdi Khairabouh, the sub-prefect of Ali Ad, Shaban Lahir Musa. In fact, Ali Sabih is home to agricultural and craft cooperative. It was an opportunity for the ministers and her delegation to witness the transformation of the cooperative fruits into the jam, a product from their garden. This work was made possible thanks to the granting of jars and containers that will service as a processing unit for agricultural products. This is a first step toward the marketing of local products. For her part, the Minister of Women and Family, Muna Usman Aden, thanked first of all the Ali Sabih people for the warm welcome, and it was an opportunity, she said, for her to assess the progress of projects and programs implemented by the ministry in the regions. In fact, Ali Sabih is home to agricultural and craft cooperatives, and it was an opportunity to witness the transformation of the cooperatives' fruit into jams, a product for their gardens. The Secretary of State in charge of sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, received this morning successively in his cabinet the recent medalists who distinguished themselves in the international championship. The first of these was the women's Rahma Abdurrahman Hussein, Nasima Mahmoud Umar, and Soredo Mahmoud Khayada, who won bronze medals at the last Arab Table Tennis Championship held in Amman, Jordan, from 10 to 16 August 2021. They were accompanied by the president of the Djibouti Table Tennis Federation, Mahmoud Omar Amir, as well as the executive members of the federation, including the international referee, Mr. Mohamed Suge. Welcoming the achievements and results of the girls, the Secretary of State for Sports recalled that this sports performance was part of a development program of sports from the ground app initiated by his department in 2017, which consisted of detecting young talent, girls and as well as boys, and coach trained them for at least 4 years before engaging them in international competitions. After the table tennis player, it was the young Djiboutian swimming prodigy Daoud Haroun who was honored. He was also accompanied by the president of the Djibouti Swimming Federation, Mr. Ali Adabo. As a reminder, the young Daoud has distinguished himself at the last Arab Swimming Championship in Abu Dhabi, winning the silver medals in 50 meters breaststroke category. During the past weeks, the gendarmes of Ali Sabih Brigade have carried out successive operations in order to curb smuggling activities in the region. In fact, in a gargot located near the National Road 1, which serves as a clandestine service station, the gendarmes discovered 1 large barrels of diesel and 31 jerrycans of 25 liters. All these illegal products were seized 2 days later. It is in the bush of the outskirts of the town of Dekhel. The gendarmes found smuggled fruit juice hiding under a tree. The gendarmes discovered 480 cans of Rani mango juice and 210 bottles of Yo-Yo mango juice. This smuggled fruit juice had been carefully hidden by the smugglers in order to escape the police. All those involved were brought to justice and imprisoned in Gabbard prison. For the international scene, in Democratic Republic of Congo, Ebola under control in 1 month thanks to vaccines and 2 drugs, 6 deaths and 2 recoveries. This is the result of a month of fighting resurgence of Ebola in the region of Bini in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the vaccines and 2 drugs have stopped the spread of the virus. In total, only 8 patients have been identified out of 489 contact cases monitored by the response teams out of 573 identified contacts from early October to early November in the eastern province of North Kivu. Some 1,000 doses of anti-Ebola vaccine delivered to the area 5 days after the first cases appeared interrupted the chain of transmission, acting as a protective firewall around the cases recorded, explained on experts from the National Control Committee, which coordinate the daily response activity on the ground. In front of more than 9,400 fans, one of the legends of the Barçailleurs, Xavi Hernandez, was officially presented to the Barcelona fans on Monday's afternoon after the recent ousting of Ronald Koeman. I am very moved by the reception of the fan. I can't wait to start work tomorrow. I know it is a complicated moment, but I am happy to be the new coach of Barcelona, said Xavi on his official induction as a Barcelona coach after 17 years as a professional player. Xavi signed as contract binding him until 2024 on the Camp Nou pitch in the presence of the Barcelona president Juan Laporta. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.